going?
Damn, bro.
How's it going, everyone? I am here with the man, the legend, Marcos, on today's episode for My One Piece. And uh, to get it started, my man here, Marcos. Let's let him give a self introduction right now, real quick. Go for it, my boy Marcos.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks, Abraham, for letting me go on this podcast and being the first ever episode. So this is gonna be very
Yes,
exciting.
yes.
I'm excited for you, man. It's gonna be
Thank you.
crazy. I can't wait for like the future and all that stuff. But
Facts.
anyways, my name is Marcos. Marcos Hernandez. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. To be more specific, I grew up in Van Nuys, in San Fernando Valley area. So yeah, um, damn.
No
So
worries, man. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just it's just me, you
just
talking,
off the
bro.
bat,
Just,
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. So I mean, where do I start? I mean, hey, always been since I was a little kid. I always been hustling. I mean, I always sold candy, sodas, chips and stuff like that to make my own money. I used to sell chocolate bars. Uh, I used to be in man, this is I'm like kind of like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know
well,
exactly.
no worries, man. Look, let's take it step by step. How about this? Tell me where you from. Like
Like I said,
yeah, where you from again? Sorry.
yeah. So I'm from San Fernando Valley. I was
Yeah,
born and
son of
raised
a.
in uh I was raised in Van Nuys, California. So I did grow up in a bad neighborhood. Good thing
Mm-hmm.
is that like even though like I grew up in a bad neighborhood, I always grew up comfortably with my family and stuff like that. So my mom and my dad always had the good thing they always had a roof over our head and we always had food and shelter and all that stuff, um, which is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I living in a bad area has taught me a lot of lessons as I was growing up. Seeing a lot of gang members and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Um, and ironically, I mean, well, it's not ironic, but my father he used to be a pastor too. So like, it just went into play where I grew up around like just going being in fundraisers or being in charities or being in um quite a few stuff that we used to do. Not only that, like just from growing up in the hood, man, like it just it's either fight or flight. Like
I fully
I
understand that, man. It's intense.
right?
It's intense.
Yeah, it
Mainly
is.
in California, you just never know what's going on and everything like that. Because I as well,
Yeah.
I lived a bit in California, and it's crazy. It's just left to right on like, and you say like it's not an easy life, and mainly depending on what areas you are. I personally wasn't like in that little area that you're talking about and everything. Where you from?
Hmm.
But like the stories I've heard from you, bro, like they're intense. Like some of the stories that it was just always fight or flight, like you were just saying right now, but everything.
Yeah.
and and then yeah, so you lived in California and everything, and now you're in the big SLC, right?
Yeah.
Big
Now I'm moving
SLC.
in
Where's
Utah.
how's that living from that big change
How's that?
going from California to Utah? Did you get any help, or did you just jump over here like on the random, bro? A lot of people don't know any of these from you.
Yeah, yeah. So I before I even get to that, explaining why I ended up moving to
Hmm.
Utah, I always had the mentality of having to make money on my own.
Hmm.
Always been very independent, and you know what? Like growing up, man, I used to sell like chips, like I was saying earlier, I used to sell chips, candy, soda, whatever it is. Like I would always make money. I used to fix iPhones as well, like iPhone screens.
Yeah.
So I would always figure out ways how to make money, and
Hmm.
just because of that, like I mean, here's a huge example. Like, yeah, I'm into like fitness as well.
Hmm.
So I remember like one day I just wanted to get, like I wanted to put on some muscle mass. I wanted to
Yeah.
go to the gym, but my mom and my dad they weren't able to afford paying a monthly membership. Another expense. So what I did was I went to to the gym and I asked one of the reps and I asked him like how much does it cost for a monthly membership? How much is it for a year? And he told me like, you know what, it's gonna cost around like $300 um for a full year membership. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So first thing I did, man, I went straight to buying chips and soda. Where did I bought it? I bought it in Costco, right? Costco is
Yeah.
a wholesale business, so I mean, yeah.
You
And
see, even little
I
kid, you knew where to get your supplies, you know? Like, you know.
yeah, yeah. At that time, I was in high school, so I was like a sophomore year in high school. I'm 24 years old right now. Um, that way you guys can get an idea how long ago it was. But I remember, man, like I just in 2 days, 2 to 3 days, like I'll say less than 3 days actually. I made $300, like just doing like an hour's work a day, like basically an hour's work of a day, if not like 2 hours, 3 hours, like. And
And
I
you
can
weren't
remember I had
scared
a
like you weren't scared of like any of the teachers or anything like that getting you caught or like principals,
getting
bro? Like
no,
because like you
so
can see online now like you see all these kids putting the same hustle as you were and everything, but like now a lot of them are having consequences because of this stuff. Like they're shutting down a lot of the things. They
yeah,
sometimes even expel them for this whole thing.
and then they take their money and stuff like that as
Mm-hmm.
well. So it's just pretty crazy. But no, I never got caught, and I think the reason being is that like um the way how I'll carry myself, like I felt as if like I will carry a duffel bag and
Mm-hmm.
teachers probably thought I was in the sport or something, like I was never causing
Mm-hmm.
trouble. I never made it obvious. And not only that, like I think the difference between me and other kids that were selling in the school,
Mm-hmm.
they would stay in one spot. They will always stay in one spot and they'll let the kids come
Mm-hmm.
to them. And you know what? Like the reason why I made so much money like just quickly is because instead of waiting for them to come to me, I will always go to them. So like I will go
Oh.
to like certain areas from the school. I'm like, because let's be realistic here. Like if
Mm-hmm.
in lunch at lunch, kids don't want to fucking like walk around or do anything like that. And the
No.
majority of the time, they're lazy. They want to stay in one spot. They don't want to go to the vending machines because there's huge lines. So what did I do? I'll go to them and then I'll end up selling them like whatever I had
Yeah.
every single time. So I think that's the reason why I didn't get caught as well, because like I wasn't in one spot. I was always moving around. And then if not, I'll sell it like, dude, to be honest, sometimes like I'll just sell like everything before lunch. I'll just sell it within like 1 to 2nd period. That's it. And then I'm done.
Look at you.
And and it got into the point where I'll take 2 bags, bro. I'll take 2 freaking bags. I'll put the other bag in the locker,
Yeah.
sell everything in one duffel bag, like in 1, 2 periods, and then
Yeah.
in lunch I'll just grab my second duffel bag and then I'll just tell I'll make extra cash. Like, dude, I was
You were
making
putting
pretty
in
good
the
money.
grind. Yeah, like
But dude,
just right off the
yeah.
bat, hearing that whole situation, and one good mentality that you learned right off the bat was that you have to like if your business starting up and everything, you have to go look for your customers. They can't find you. A small starting up business or anything that you're like barely
Mhm.
getting started, no one's gonna know you right off the bat. You're not gonna top up like pop up on the top charts of like Google search or anything like that, bro. You have to go find your customers,
Yeah.
and once you build that like trust with your customers and everything, they're going to be coming to find you, and that's how everything starts. So that's a good idea that like you had where instead of you staying at one spot, you went up to people like, hey, you guys trying to buy, you guys, and all this stuff, so like just
Yeah, yeah.
like I love how like you have that mentality like already without like having to like do your own little research. You're like, no, I need to put a hustle. You're like those Mexican eloteros, bro. Like you were walking
Telos, yeah,
everywhere, finding your
exactly.
customers. Like you brought the supplies,
Exactly.
and you were like letting people know, I got this. If you want some, I got this. And it's crazy how like you don't realize, but like kids are smart when they're young. They're smart. They know what they need to get done, and they do it. And it's just
Yep.
crazy. It's just be influenced by the right people, and boom,
Yep.
you have like a millionaire right there, real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It just all derives from like I believe that anybody can make it in life. I mean, as long as
True.
you're ambitious, persistent, and you create that habit of consistency, you'll be able to get whatever you want in life. And that's that's truly what I did, man. I mean, like I want, like I said, I wanted that gym membership. I when I made that money in 2 days, I remember going to the gym, bought a freaking wad of cash,
Yeah.
and I looked at the rip. I'm like, hey, man, I brought a bunch of dollar bills and 20s and 50s and blah blah blah. But hey, there's $300. In fact, dude, I was so excited. I probably gave him a little bit more extra cash than I should have. But bro, like I got extra. But the good thing is that he gave me like extra months. Like he gave me
Oh,
like
there we go.
3 extra months and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And he was
There we
like
go.
he was just looking at me like damn, dude, you made this in like 2 days, 3 days. I'm like, yep. I'm like, I'm like, I really want to start working out because I always been self-conscious of my body and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because when I grew up as a very skinny kid, but I was always like, but as I was skinny, like I always been toned and stuff like that because I was
Hmm.
in sports like martial arts. I was doing martial arts for like 4 plus years. Um, but yeah, the reason why I moved out here to Utah is because I wanted to become more independent. An old friend dragged me out here to Utah, so that's why I ended up coming out here, and that's
Oh.
basically how it started. So like I told uh, he was a friend from high school.
Hmm.
This guy he like told me to move out here in Utah. That way I can uh there's like more business opportunities out here, like and just to become more independent. So that's the reason why I came out here.
And you weren't scared whatsoever, bro? Like doing a big jump, like it's not like you moving out to like an apartment in this like same state or anything like that. Like a max an hour drive from each other, you know? No, you just like
Yeah,
jumped on a big jump. Like you're a 12-hour drive from like your family, bro. Like weren't you scared to do like take that step and everything?
I at first I
Hmm.
was pretty nervous about it. I was kind of scared, but I knew that if something went wrong, I can always go back to California, and
Mm.
it wouldn't be a big issue because I didn't have that much stuff. I didn't have. I mean, I was barely like I was barely just I just barely got out of high school. I mean,
Hmm.
like I I didn't have my own room. I didn't have any furniture. I didn't have anything, just my clothes and that's it, man. So I was like, okay. I had my car, had my clothes, and I was like,
Hmm.
okay, you know what? Sometimes it takes sometimes you just gotta take big risk in order for you to achieve what you really want in life. And that's why I took that huge jump. I'm like, you know what? If I mess up, that's fine. That's just a mistake. I'm young and that's okay. So but I've been so far it's been almost it's about to be what, 5 years now? So
5 years.
almost 5 years. That's crazy,
Damn.
man, living out here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what I've known you for like 3 or 4 of those years, I want to say something like that. Or how long
Yeah.
have we known
I,
each other? It's like back in 2016. I think
I'll
that's when we
say
met, right?
um no. Was it 2016? I no, it wasn't 2016. It was 2017 or 2018. I can't remember exactly.
It was, yeah, it was probably one of those two. I want to say it was more 2017, like early. Yeah, it was like early 2017 because here in Utah there's still a bit snow, you know, and everything. And when we met
Yeah,
up in those first like meetings and everything like that, there was still snow outside and everything. So I think it was like early 2017 and all that
I
stuff.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so like
But
what,
we've been
four
knowing each
years
other for
already?
like almost 4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It's crazy. Time flies
A
so
little bit
much.
longer than four
You're
years, huh?
like, oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, coming back to the whole situation, like you're a man that puts in the grind on any category and everything. So like let me pull up your Instagram real quick on here. I want to show these people some of your stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, like coming just looking at your Instagram, man, you're a man like just showing it off. Like you put in work. Like this is one of my favorite videos right here. Just you just jumping. Just jumping. I remember you messaged me that day. You're like, "Hey, do you want to jump rope with me?" I'm like, "Nah." Like I had something going on and everything. You're like, "Okay." And I thought you were just gonna go to the gym and like jump rope. No, you tell me the next day like, no, I went, I went outside and just jumped on like you were just jump roping, bro. Like, I didn't
Yep, yep.
realize you walked outside and just jump roping, and you were telling me that one story about that. Like this little girl approaches you, and you're like, "Whoa,
Oh
whoa."
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that, man. As I'm jump roping, I just so that park there was a bunch of soccer games happening that day, and just random little girl just starts coming like just starts hanging around like where I'm at, and then
Hmm.
ends up talking to me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she's like, could I jump rope? And I'm like, yeah, of course. So I'm like, I give her my jump rope, and she's jump roping, and I'm like, all right, like she's trying to talk to me, and I'm over here like, I'm like, I don't, I'm like, shouldn't you be somewhere? Like, I just, like, I didn't tell her that, but I was looking at her like, shouldn't you be somewhere? Because she's kind of far from the field, dude. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing all the way here by yourself? Like, your parents are probably gonna look at me and be like, get away from that guy. Like, who, I don't know, man. Like,
Like, who is
I'm
this
not
man?
trying to get in
He's
trouble.
talking to my daughter and everything.
I'm
But
like, oh, fuck.
like, I remember the first day that you were going to like the first time you ever talked about like jump roping. We, we were just chilling at the house and everything, and you were like, "Hey, you know what? I want to jump rope." I'm like, "Do it!" And you show me a video, and it's this girl going ham, bro, like going all out, like doing all these tricks and
Yeah, yeah.
everything on a jump rope and everything. I'm like, "Bro, I know you can pull that off." And then you upload this video right here, and like you like going from where you started, bro, like where you were just jump roping to like being able to pull off like simple tricks like this, bro. I was like, damn, bro. And I say simple, but like I know for a fact those are hard to do. Some of those are hard to do because I've tried. I can't do a simple little
It's
step and everything that you be doing.
yeah, it's crazy because looking at that right now, watching that video right now, I can tell like I have progressed tremendously because my form is a whole lot better than that now. Not only that,
Yeah.
like I'm able to do more tricks and stuff like that. So I need to do like an updated video of me jump roping. But
Hey, and then don't
I
worry, don't worry. You can finally like give video credit to who recorded that for you on
oh
your
yeah,
next
of
post.
course. So uh,
But don't worry about that. But yeah,
too funny.
like from a little kid, you wanted to put in the grind to be at the gym and everything, and you knew that you wanted to like build a physique for yourself, and just like looking off like you just seeing your results, like damn, like look at my man's over here, he be looking good. And he he I'm telling you guys now, the first time I met Marcos, he did not look like this. He was way scrawnier. Like he looked good and everything,
Yeah,
but he was way scrawnier. But now he told me that he wanted to put in the grind to actually like look at this.
you can tell skinnier there too.
Yeah, like look at that. Like my man has like legs for days. I'm over here like when I saw this video, I'm like, damn. Like I thought I was good because like I'm in rugby and everything, and nope. It's just seeing that because I've tried it. Oh, I can barely do like 3 or 4 of those, and I was like, oh, I'm dying. But yeah,
Man.
like what like like what do people have to do to like what motivated you to like push towards like your goals and everything like that to like get to that physique and everything that you're currently at?
So with the so with my physique, okay,
Hmm.
so like I said, I was very self-conscious of my body. I always been a very skinny guy. I mean, I was a very skinny kid, and um, like people growing up in a bad neighborhood too. Like people try to pick on you all the time, and they try to bully you and stuff like that. So, that's another reason why I got into martial arts because for some reason people just like to fight. Like
Hmm.
they like to fight with me for some reason. I don't know why. They
You
just
don't
they
know.
just do, man. They just hate. They're just hating, man. It's just but
People, ugh, they just get jealous, bro.
they do, and it's crazy because like and people have told me too, like, "Yeah, I don't like you," and I'm like, "Why do you like me?" "I don't know, I just don't like you," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Dude, I don't even know you." Like, I think I'm the most likable. I think I'm the most likable guy, but but yeah, the reason why I got into working out and having to build muscle is because I was a scrawny guy, man. I wanted to build some confidence. I wanted to build some muscle, and that's why I started working out. that's the whole reason why.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. What is it? So you put in the grind on at the gym, and I know I you go like you pretty much go like Monday through Friday, right? And then like you've
Yeah,
said, you've told me before, sometimes you just like to toss in on Saturday and everything. But like throughout
yeah.
that whole time, man, you also work, and then on top of that, you put in the grind to educate yourself. Like what's something that you're right now that you're like working towards and everything? Like what's a goal that you're trying to reach at the moment?
Yeah, so for a long my long-term goal is to become a millionaire. I
Mm-hmm.
want to become a millionaire by the age of 30. That's my long-term goal. Right now, I am working towards having to uh, I, I trade in the foreign exchange market. In other words, I like trading forex. I don't really like calling it forex because a lot of it just has a bad rep. A lot of people scam, and it just has a bad rep of multi-level marketing scams and stuff like that. So I just like calling it foreign exchange because a lot of people don't know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
um, because everyone knows it by forex. But I am my short term goal for trading, it's literally having to hit six figures by the end of next year. So man, it's just crazy because I just been every night, man, every night, like not even during the day, I'm looking at charts and I've been practicing and practicing. Like my current, uh, I'll say like commodity
Mm-hmm.
that I like trading is gold. So you already know,
Yeah.
I love trading gold. I love
Yeah.
trading gold. I love how volatile it is, and that's what I'm doing right now to reach, being able to reach my goals. And of course, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts as well, and as well, not reading books. I've been listening to audiobooks as well, so that's nice. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, and before we jumped on here, I did ask you like if you had any like recommendations, like not just like people that you've learned and everything like that, because I know in this type of business and everything, and the foreign exchange, like you can't automatically start by yourself. You have to have like an idea of what it is. And you were telling me that, oh, here are a couple people like on Instagram that have actually like helped me out with like understanding what I'm like looking at. And right here, I have them pulled up on the page right here. So
Yeah.
Derek Vandy, he like you've told me a couple stuff of him and everything. We got this guy. Like, what has he taught you and everything that you've learned?
So Derek Vandy, there's a couple different forex traders or foreign exchange. Let's just call them forex traders. There's a
Hmm.
couple forex traders that I learned from, uh, not just from like strategies, but when it comes to mentality and psychology and stuff like that as well. And I know they're legitimate as well. So with Derek Vandy, I mean, he's just overall this guy. He's very genuine, and what I mean by that, he doesn't care about making money off of other people. So with that being said, I mean, he even like posted a free course on YouTube. So if you guys want to learn how to trade in the foreign exchange market, he has a free freaking course, which he can easily charge $500 for, $1,000 for it, but just free. There's some free game right there. So yes, you can learn off of him.
Right. We got, and then we also got Alex Gonzalez right here. Uh, Here's another one. Like, what's something that you've learned from him and everything?
Alex Gonzalez. One quote that he always likes saying is one set it and forget it. That's the most important thing when it comes to trading. It involves a lot of psychology on it, and 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 what I mean by that is that like there's a saying that 20% of it is technical analysis and 80% of it is psychology. How you would react towards the market when you place like live trades. Um, in a way, he's a swing trader. In other words, he keeps trades for like days, maybe even a weeks. This guy, the one thing I did learn, like I said, is this quote: "Set and forget it." The moment when you set that trade, let it run and see if it'll go into being
Yeah, and to
profitable.
profit. Like, and it makes sense. Like that's some great advice, because literally I remember when I first jumped into like forex, like learning and everything, like I would stare at, like, I would place my buy or my sell, and I would like wait. I would like look at that screen and
Mhm.
just getting so scared of it, like going the opposite way, or like it's working for me and then it just it like goes somewhere else and everything. Like
Yeah.
just doing that, like you have to be confident. Like once you like learn the proper way of doing stuff and everything, you got to be confident in what you're doing and everything. So that's a great example. Like set it and forget it, because it's gonna make you ride a roller coaster of emotions if you just stare at it all day. So I got this
Yep.
other one, the
Yeah.
the Godfather. Like, tell me a little bit about him.
The Goldfather, you
The
mean?
Goldfather. Oh yeah, I
The
read that wrong. The
Goldfather.
Goldfather.
My boy Dimitri. So this guy, he's basically a specialist when it comes to trading gold, and that's why like this guy ended up. That's why like he attracted me because since I trade gold all the
Hmm.
time, that's like that's my main girl right there, man. Like I I'm always looking at gold. So this guy knows how to trade gold. I just look at his what's it called? I just look at his stories to see exactly like so, like just for motivation. He likes to post a lot of like motivational quotes and like him having to trade and stuff like that. So it's
Hmm.
just nice. And of course, I did learn a strategy, and I actually taught you this. It's this is the guy from I learned from that the O strategy. So that strategy can be very useful.
Very useful. Yeah, like, and I know we've taken a peek at that strategy, and we've seen the success at it, like just seeing it how it works and everything. It's amazing. Like it's crazy how someone like this can come up with like a strategy that can make it consistent. And on top of that, it's a strategy. Sometimes it may not work, but it does work. It it's a strategy.
Yes.
There's that's
Uh,
why there's multiple
it's
ways of like doing stuff. But when you
mhm,
first showed us this right here, I was like, holy crap! Like how like you have to like be you have to be dedicated and really love what you're doing to find a way to make it easy for other people. And that's what he does with a lot of his stuff, that like just going off of the strategy.
mhm,
And then we got
yeah.
right
It's
here,
just it's
go for
yeah.
it, continue,
It's
sorry.
it's just it's nothing but a confirmation.
Hmm.
Um, as long as you stick to your own technical analysis and you stick to that one your own strategy, and if you have an extra confirmation, perfect. But the whole strategy is just nothing but a confirmation. That's all it is.
There you
I
go.
think. Yeah.
So we got this other gentleman, Daniel Savage. Tell us about him.
Daniel Savage. This guy, he's honestly he sticks to his name, bro. This fucker's a savage.
This
I'm
guy's
being
a
for real, dude.
savage.
He like on his stories, man, he'll be calling out like people left to right. Like he's just there's always something. There's always something that he's just he
He's always up to
he's
something.
he's always up to something. But man, like one thing I do look up to this guy. As you can see, he's a 24-year-old that he makes over six figure in trading. I'm pretty sure he has made seven figures already. But
Yeah.
man, this guy, um, his story is his story is pretty crazy. This guy started when he used to work at a car wash. He used to be like just like a law tech, like just washing cars and stuff like that. And he mentioned like, man, he like one day saw a guy that brought his Maserati, I believe. I believe it was a Maserati, and he's like, man, why can I not have that? And
Hmm.
I know this guy wanted to uh delete himself. I don't know. I'm not trying to use the other word, but he tried to delete himself
Hmm.
because we're on
Thank you,
Twitch,
thank
right?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're on Twitch. We gotta be careful
yeah.
with what we say.
We gotta be careful what we say, but he was trying to delete himself, and that's why Uh, he wanted more for himself, and this guy ended up getting where he needed to be at. So it's just truly inspirational, truly
There you go.
inspirational.
There you go, man. Yeah, it sometimes has to take sometimes getting to like our darkest moments in life is what will show us like, no, I want more from this. And it sounds like this guy just he put in the grind and like looking at his profile right here on Instagram is crazy. This, like you said, this guy's a savage. I'm seeing his stuff. I'm like, damn, he be hustling. Like, look at
Yeah,
that. And then I got this
yeah.
last one right here that you showed me and everything. Uh, what is it? James Storms. There you go, James Storms.
Oh, James Storms. I would have to say that's like my favorite person, my favorite trader out of all of them.
All
This
right.
guy, not too long ago, man, last year, 2020, this guy was, he only had what, 3 grand to his name, and he's a seven-figure trader.
Damn.
This guy, like, he made it, like, but it's like he has put in the work though. He's been a trader for like 3, 4 years, something like that. So he's been trading for quite a while, but man, like, and he's been on and off of it until last year. He decided to put in the work, and now he made over 7 figures. Like, I mean, you should click on one of his profits. You'll see how much. Uh, you should go down and then click
Down.
one of his pictures of his profits. Yeah,
Yeah, I got
like
one
click the
right
first
here.
one.
Yep.
See the monthly go down, and then show the profit. That way the viewers can see. Oh,
Go down.
yeah, like scroll down. Anyways, yeah, this guy has made. He's just crazy, man. He just talks about just having to put in the work, and that's it. Like, the reason why I keep an eye on these guys is just for
Hmm.
motivational purposes. I have not learned from James. I have not learned from Alex or Daniel Savage, but these guys, they all have a similar story of where they started. Some of them were cooks at a restaurant. Some of them were working at Target. Some of them were working at um, what's called at a car wash. Some of them, they all started from somewhere, and here's a good statistic that I like to say is that a lot of people try to make the excuse that it's not possible to get where they need to be at, or they try to say that a lot of people were born into it. And I
Yeah.
remember looking at a statistic back when I was in high school. I was wondering, like, how many millionaires are self-made millionaires? Um, and I saw, and it was about 70%. 70% of millionaires are self-made. That's more than half of them. So,
Whew.
like, think about that. Think about like the possibilities. And I believe it went up. I believe now it's 80%, if I'm not mistaken. If someone can correct me, perfect. But imagine now, like over 70% are self-made millionaires. So, and these are people that are not born into a rich family or anything like that. So,
Hmm.
it just gives you the example of what the possibilities are like. That's that's it, man.
That's crazy. Yeah. And then what is it? Yeah, it's crazy how like you see all these people like showing off all their like success, like showing off all their stuff that they've like accomplished and everything. But a lot of people don't realize that that person like was literally in the same like shoes you were in at one point in their life. Like a lot of people weren't just handed most of their stuff and everything like that. Like one of my favorite ones is like talking about his story is Sylvester Stallone. His story, like
Oh yeah.
behind what he did and everything, like he when like he was homeless pretty much. He just had him and his dog. Like that's all he had, and he wrote the script for Rocky. Like he had that all like written down and everything like that. He was sleeping on like trains and everything. And he went to show off his like script and everything and like that. And a lot of people were like, "Yeah, we'll take it. Like the story is amazing. Like it's great and everything like that." And the one thing was that the reason why it took forever for him to like actually like sign it with someone was that no one wanted him to be the lead actor, like to be Rocky himself. And until he finally found the one like person that like, yeah, you know what, I'll do it and everything like that. We'll put you as Rocky and everything, and you'll be the movie. And boom, bro, he put in the grind. And the sad part is, at one point he had to get rid of his dog. Like
Oh, yeah,
he
he
had
had
to
to
like
sell it.
yeah, he had to sell it. Like I can't remember if it was because he couldn't like afford to keep him like good, like healthy or anything like that, or like keep him going, or if it was like something big that was going on. But he had to sell it, and once he finally made it and everything, once he had money, I remember he went back to that person and bought him back for like
Yeah.
it wasn't
He
he
bought
gave
him
him a
back,
lot of
yeah.
money just to get him back. Like I remember that. I was like, what? I was like, damn, I'm like, you got to realize that a lot of these people like put in the grind. They may not be exactly your shoes, but they walk in their like in their own path where those shoes get beaten down like no other as well.
Yep.
And
I would have to say though, Rocky's my favorite freaking movie, dude. I always
yeah.
talk about it with you. I actually have the Blu-ray set of all the Rockies.
Yeah,
I
and
love Rocky.
that's
Yeah.
why I mentioned the whole Rocky thing because like I feel like yeah, he's one of your favorite characters, so I have to do my research on all these characters and everything that like my guests like. So I feel like
You know
like
who?
putting in that
Yeah.
situation just alone.
You know who has a pretty crazy story too, though. And I'll say it's Rocky. He's like I'll say best friend, but he hates him at the same time. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like
Well,
that
it
guy.
like in that situation, like they don't fully hate each other. It's just that like
It's
it's
just a friendly
that grind.
competition.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
all it
friendly
is. Yeah.
competition. That's why
But
in their time it was Rocky. Rocky came out. Terminator came out. A Rocky came out. A Terminator came out. It was always like that back
whoa,
and forth. Or hello? Oh no! What happened? Huh? Let's see. Let's see if we can get him back on the air and everything. Are you there? You good? Marcos, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
could you see me?
Yeah, I
Hello,
can see you. Can you hear me? Marcos,
hello, hello, hello.
can you hear me? Hello. All right, it looks like we lost Marcos for a bit, but here, let me continue just talking it up and everything. Let's see. But yeah, it's funny how like it's crazy when people take that extra step and everything and then just do the grind like that friendly competition that was going on between. There we go.
Yo,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I don't
All
know
right.
what happened. It just randomly
No, it's all
just
good,
cut
bro.
off. I don't
It's
know
all
what
good.
happened.
Yeah, like I even saw that like your face. You're like, what's going on? And then boop, you went black. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh well. But yeah, yeah. Coming back to that whole thing, it was a friendly competition. Like it was back to back. Like I released one movie, you released another, and like just all that stuff because they also did
Yeah,
Rambo. They did
I,
what was the other movie that Sylvester Stallone was
I
like
have
big back in the day?
yeah, oh, I have no idea, man.
Yeah,
But
all I know is that it was their
the
grind.
thing
But
is
can
though, like
go
one
back
thing
to
I
your
do
story
did
with.
wanted to mention about Arnold, Arnold, that guy, a lot of people don't know where like his background came from, like or where like how he rose to where he wanted to be at.
Hmm.
Like he even mentioned that he wanted to get into bodybuilding, but back in Austria, nobody believed in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding wasn't famous or anything like that. So the cool part, like the thing that motivates me is that Arnold, his I believe his father was part of the army back in Austria, and I know Arnold was in an army school or boot camp, whatever it was. But the crazy part about it is that he really wanted to do a bodybuilding competition, but the only way to do that, he would have to leave the school. He had to sneak out, and if he was to sneak out, then he's gonna get um, punished for it. So what he did was he literally hopped on a train and rode the train to a different freaking country to enter a competition. He ended up doing really good, and like he said, "Fuck it, bro." He said, "You know
Fuck
what?
it.
I don't care."
It's like I
And
need to
guess what?
get.
He did get in trouble.
I
He did
bet,
get in
bro.
trouble. Once he got back, he tried to sneak back in, try to make it seem like he was always there, but no, he got in trouble. He had to be in what is that called? Like they have their own little freaking prison or their own little jail cell right there in that
Okay.
school. So he was in there, but they
Oh
wanted
no.
to talk to him, and the word got out like, "Hey Arnold, did I heard you like the generals and like all the higher ups are like, hey Arnold, I heard you won at the bodybuilding competition." And the first thing he does, he looks at him, he gives him credit. That way he'll be like, "Oh, if it wasn't from you guys, from the training and all that stuff, bro, like that's why I got where I need to be at." And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like,
Yeah, they're all
you know,
blushing like
building up their
stop.
confidence. Yeah, yeah. So then it just took off from there. This guy became, he just became a freaking Mr. What was it like? I can't remember how many times he won Mr. Olympia. I think it was like 6 times. But yeah, he has a pretty crazy story.
Nice. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes because look, like you got to realize that a lot of fame, like once you're big or once you got any business going on and everything, once you put in the grind, you got to realize you you also have to while you're focusing on your grind and everything, you got to focus on your health. And one of the my favorite little quotes, well, it's from Gary V. He was just walking around and one of his like fans came
Mm-hmm.
up to him and he's like, "Hey, like, do you think like do you think uh, being healthy is important in your business?" And he straight up told him, like, if you're dead, your business is dead. So stay healthy. Like literally just told him that. He's like, damn, you're right.
Yeah.
Like people have to realize that you have to take care of yourself to like continue doing what you're doing, you know? Because if you're not good, your business isn't going to be doing good, you know? Like you got to put both like situations in the whole platform and everything. Like you can't focus more on just your business and forget about like your health. You got to focus on everything. So and it's great because I
Yeah.
see you putting that grind in everything. All the uh, guys that you showed me, like I showed real quick about like Instagram and everything. They're all in great shape and they're killing it on
Yeah.
their life and
Yep.
everything. So you got to keep that balance on everything. All right, but yeah, moving on from there, like one of my things that I love and put the grind into is watching my damn anime. I'm literally excited because
Oh
tomorrow,
man.
tomorrow, bro. Guess what's tomorrow? Guess, guess, bro.
Is it in
It's
One
all of it.
Piece?
It's one motherfucking piece, bro. One piece, bro. A
That's funny.
thousandth episode. A thousand episode, bro.
That's
I
crazy,
already
man.
have it. I'm ready. I'm gonna watch it the minute it comes out. I'm ready to watch it, bro. Oh, the the weight on it, and I've already gotten little spoils here and there. I'm like, so they're actually getting the first opening that from One Piece, like the very first one, recreating it with their current like outfits and everything from like where they're at, but they're just making the same intro. So I was like, "What?" I'm like, I'm just stoked, bro. Like just seeing
Oh
that,
man.
it's like, oh, like One Piece. And don't get me started with the movie, bro. Like them, like they released some pictures of what I think it's in Africa, like where they're actually doing it. They showed pictures of the Going Merry, like their very first boat that they got, and then they have pictures of like the land, like pretty much the whole production, bro. And I'm like, oh, uh, I'm over here like, oh. I'm like geeking out over it, bro.
That's so funny, man.
Because like oh,
Oh.
I'm mainly excited, and I know another live action one. I think it actually did it come out today or is it like tomorrow that Cowboy Bebop is coming
Oh, uh,
out?
I already came out today.
Today? Yeah,
You know
like
what, man? I am very afraid of. So it's funny how you mentioned Cowboy Bebop. Uh,
mhm.
one of my close friends back in California actually texted me today, and he mentioned, "Hey, have you seen the Cowboy Bebop series?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I feel like it's gonna be horrible." And he's like, "Well, I did read the reviews, and they said that in the reviews it said that it felt like people were just cosplaying and trying too hard." And I was like,
Really? Uh,
yeah, no, I got kind of disappointed. I'm like, it does look that way. It looks too forced, in my opinion. Watching that trailer, I was just like, no, this isn't it, man.
No, it's all good because that that's the other thing I'm scared from, like for the One Piece movie, because like the only like live action stuff that they've ever made that actually came out pretty good, like like you can't hate on it, is either like this is an anime. It's damn Scooby Doo and Turtle Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like that's the only live action that
Yeah,
I've actually seen.
Teenage Mutant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sorry. Yeah, that have like can actually be transferred into like live action and do really great. Like, and I'm not talking about like the newer uh turtles. I'm talking about like the classic turtles where they actually wore like the costumes and everything like to play it. But like all these anime live actions, like they're not doing good. Like an anime's doing bad when they have a live action. Like I'm like, like
Yeah.
they either like ruin the whole thing or they just do it to a really bad anime to start off with. Like the other, like the
Uh,
one, like before I actually watched the anime Death Note, I watched the movie, like the live action movie. Like I thought it was pretty cool, like the graphics and everything. But and like
really?
the movie to me was like pretty cool. Like the story was awesome and everything until I watched the actual anime. I'm like, yeah, the the live action does shit on the story. It just does not follow anything. and
Oh
then
my
like
God.
and then
Terrible.
the worst one to me by far is Dragon Ball Evolutions, bro. Dragon Ball Evolutions. You've seen it, right?
No, I haven't. I don't
Here,
focus on or
let,
seen.
let me pull this up real
Is
quick.
that like
But
a fan base kind of thing? Fan
no,
made?
like it's a movie,
It
bro.
has to
Like
be
it
fan made.
here, let me,
It's a movie. I know which
it's a
one you're
movie,
talking
bro.
about. It's an
It's a
old
movie.
one.
Yeah. This one right here. Dragon Ball Evolutions, bro. Like look at it. Like it's just crazy to me that they were able to
Why?
like do
Why?
something like this. Like Piccolo alone, man. Like why would you do that to my boy Piccolo? Like it's just really bad. they they ruined the character, bro. Like look at it.
That's
Oh,
terrible.
it's just bad. Like
Why?
the whole story behind Dragon Ball Evolution was really bad. The fighting scenes alone were just like cringe.
That's terrible.
It's crazy how like that's why I'm like it just sometimes ruins the anime and everything, like or like the idea behind it, and just like like just keep it to like 2D. The reason why the reason why I feel like anime does so good compared to like live action is because an actor can pull off an emotion, but you when you see an animated character like and you see him go like with this dramatic emotion, they can express however they want, and sometimes like those facial expressions can be pulled off by an actual person. Like that's why it's a perfect way of like showing emotion on anime. Like you can feel it more just by seeing like that over, like not exaggerated but over expressive situation that's going on, or anything. Like you can literally animate anything and you feel it, like, and seeing an
Yeah,
actor
yeah,
pull off a facial expression, like a scene on any like anime deaths or anything like that, or someone going psychotic or anything like that, seeing a live action person, it kind of feels like weird watching that person do those facial expressions. And I
yeah.
just like realized that I'm like, oh, I'm like, oof, oof. Like it's just two different things and everything. But
It is, I also truly I think what it is too as well is that we I think anime is like it's basically an adult cartoon. It
mhm,
might offend some people, but and what I mean by that is that like I feel like it brings out like the kid in us, but we're able to learn from it when it comes to anything and everything. I mean, there's a lot of life
very true.
lessons with anime, and I think that's why a lot of people love watching it because you learn so much out of it, like either the psychological stuff or um having to become a better person, having to motivate yourself, having to push yourself, push your limits to get where you need to be at. And I think that's why a lot of people love watching it.
Yeah, bro. Like in all reality, like the reason why I started this podcast was because like I've told you about this before and everything. Like it's reaching back to that inner child. Sometimes people don't realize what I mean by that, but like let me explain it for you. Like when you were a little kid, you loved sitting down watching like any superhero. Like it can be Superman, it can be Spider-Man, it can be Batman, it can be Iron Man, Captain America. If we're going off of like anime, it can be Goku, it can be Luffy, it can be all these characters. There you see the hero, you're chanting for that hero, like yeah, beat up the like that villain and everything. You're doing great and all this stuff. Like you want to be that hero. You like seeing the negative being destroyed and everything like that. You like seeing that freedom idea and everything like that. Like you're doing damage to this people, like I'll stop that so that way these people are like safe in the life and everything. So uh, when you're little you see these heroes and you want to be just like them, or you want to you like praise them because they do, like to your viewpoint, that's a good action for someone, you know. But as we get older and
Yeah,
everything like that, we go through life not realizing that when we're little kids, we're we're protected. We have like a, what is it, like a, like a, how can I say, like a child mind where everything is good, you know. Like we don't see the negative stuff in life, but as we get older we start getting
yeah.
attacked by life. We start
We
realizing
we
that not everyone is nice out there, and
yeah,
everyone, go for it.
yeah, like as a kid you feel invincible. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just feel as if like everything is all sunshine and rainbows because you don't think that anything bad will happen to you because you're so coddled. But I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I just
like
wanted to help you out
like
there.
thank you very much. But yeah, like it's just, and then on top of that, like when you're a little kid, when you're when you see a little kid, you see that baby taking his first two steps, you praise that kid, like yo, like you cheer for that little kid, you keep pumping it up, like bring that good positive vibe towards that kid. But like when, as well, when you get older, you get like nonstop negative comments, hate from people and everything. So it just pushes you down to a certain area where you realize that life isn't as good as it was, like, or as you imagined and everything. And looking
Yeah,
at these current villains,
and
like the villains, the superheroes that you used to love, you understand them more. So like Thanos, when little kids like, oh yeah, beat Thanos and everything, but now you're older and you're realizing like, yo, you know what, Thanos was right. We should, like, your thought process is that we're damaging the earth and all this other stuff, so to do that we have to get rid of like all the stuff. Or like anime characters where it's like Madara. Madara, he hates, he doesn't want to see people go through pain and everything like that. He wants you to be living the life you want and the best life you can. So what his idea of a freedom world is putting you to sleep, and being in your dreams, you can control everything. You will never feel pain. But the character doesn't want to,
yeah,
like, you start to understand all these quotes and all the suffering that all these villains go through, so you feel like you understand them, and you're like, damn, were they really that bad and everything. But you got to realize that you can't let this like negative vibe, or like all like the dark aura or whatever it is, just control your life. You need to listen to that like inner child, because if that inner child can continue with you, it's gonna like be able to succeed everywhere. Like that, a little, like you see Marcus, like when he was younger, he wanted something, he worked for it and everything, like he got it done, and he got positive, what is it, he got positive, what's the word, re-encouragement or encouragement from his
yeah.
friends, and like and everything
Positive
like that.
encouragement. Yeah,
Like you got it, you were conquering it and everything like that. You got to realize like keeping this
yeah,
negative mind is not what people should have. And just listening to that
yeah,
inner child is like, keep pushing, being the hero, be your own hero. It's just like just be what that kid wanted, you know? Like that's why you have to keep listening to that inner child in you. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the more you get away from that inner child, the less you get the like the less the more you get uh what is it? The more you get distracted from the lane that you want to accomplish, you know, like you can't reach your goals if you can't like if you don't stay positive and everything,
Yeah.
because if you're in a negative vibe, it's always going to like ruin the whole like goal that you have in mind and everything.
No,
But
you're
yeah, and
preaching. You're preaching, man. It's true. It's true. Like, and you brought up a good point. As a kid, there's a lot of encouragement as a kid. As a baby, you're learn how to crawl, right? When you
mhm,
start crawling, your parents give you so much encouragement. People give you so much encouragement. Then once you start learning how to walk, they give you more encouragement. Even though you make a mistake and you still fall down, they still bring you back up. And I think like nowadays, like people, they don't give that encouragement. Once you start growing up, once you start becoming an adult, and if you have friends or like family, like when you want to build a business or whatever you want to do in life, they don't give you the same exact encouragement. And it puts things in perspective. Like, yes, a baby can make mistakes, as in like she can fall, but yet they bring him up. If you were to do the same thing to an adult, imagine the amount of accomplishments of that person that would be able to do, you know? And it just puts things in perspective. But I also think that that shouldn't be an excuse for that person. I mean, hey, you're gonna end up having to learn like life can be tough. Life can be
mhm.
very tough, and sometimes when people want to drag you down, you always have to keep on pushing and having to push yourself where you want to be at. Like I said, I mean, I think what also helped with I think will also help me accomplish my goals. I had a lot of doubters in my life, like a bunch, man. And I mean, for example, when I was in martial arts, like I remember like my first round, I was going up against a guy that he was probably like 4 or 5 ranks higher than I was. 4 or 5 ranks higher than I was. He was taller. He was a little bit bigger than I was, and I'm like, damn. We didn't have any weight classes in that tournament either, so it's kind of like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Um, but the crazy part about it is just like my dad's friend, like he even told like my dad, like, I don't think your son's gonna win, and my dad just stayed quiet. He didn't know, but funny part, I ended up getting first place in that tournament. I
Bro,
ended up winning that round, and it's just the amount of accomplishments of people downing me, man. It's crazy to me because I think about it. I'm like, nah, like I can do it. And and let's say if I didn't know they were doubting me, I always end up finding out like, oh yeah, no, I doubted you, bro. Like they'll tell me, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear, but you
that,
know what? You just gotta keep on pushing. Yeah.
yeah, it's just that encouragement that people realize, and just just realize if there's negative stuff being said and everything, just remember not everything has to be negative in life. Sometimes people just say those stuff because they're hurt in their own way or they're going through current stuff. So just like show those people that are like saying something in a negative, just show them a kinder way of like a kinder response. Just smile and be like, all right, well, I'll take in consideration, but thank you. Like, or like, you know what? You're right. Use some sarcasm, like, and everything, but always just smile back at them, because sometimes people that give hate will like just realize like, oh, he's smiling. Why isn't he getting mad? You know? But it's just the more
Yeah,
encouragement you can give
that's
someone,
true.
the better they can do and everything like that. And or you can just prove people wrong, because that's all Marcos does. My boy Marcos be proving people left to right.
And you seen it live as
I've seen
well,
it live. I've seen it in
multiple times.
person. And you've slapped me with that and everything, bro. I've seen you. Like I
Man.
can never doubt you wrong, bro, because I know you be pulling off everything. And it's crazy because what is it? We were having a conversation that like who do you think like represents us as an anime character? And you brought up that Asta from Black Clover was like the best
Y-
reference, and I'll let
Yeah,
you like I'll let you explain why you chose Asta from Black Clover. That way they can get your
yeah.
explanation.
I was gonna actually ask you that this question. Like, I know we kind of talked about it, but
Mm,
it'll be nice to talk about it again, but this time on a stream.
all right.
What is it like your top three animes, man? Like as of right now.
Right now for me, my
Yeah,
top three animes like I'm not gonna include One Piece, even though One Piece is my heart, but I gotta give like credit to like other animes because if we always include like the main ones like Dragon Ball or like uh Naruto or One Piece, stuff like that, you're never gonna hear other animes. So I'm gonna One Piece is on a different pedestal for me. But for like my favorite animes right
yeah.
now, I would have to say uh reincarnated as a slime. Yeah, the time I got reincarnated as a slime is the one right
Really?
now. It
Okay.
is really good, bro.
Huh.
Like they already announced that next year they're gonna release a movie. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
it's
I
a
have
really good
never seen
anime.
Reincarnated as, huh.
Yeah, you should give it a try, bro.
Should I watch
There's
that right after I finish watching Dragon Ball Super?
bro, you watch it. I think they have like 2 seasons. I want to say 2 seasons, bro. They're so intense. It's kind of like One Punch Man. Like if you like, I won't say much but to it, but it's like One Punch Man. You think someone's OP until you see someone else. So I'll say that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So reincarnated as a slime. Another one would be what is it? I really like Assassination Classroom. That one like that's one of the animes that like made me like like I could feel that teardrop just coming down to the side and everything, just coming down.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a
another
really good
one,
anime.
another one I would say would be Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale is a lot
Fairy
of people
Tale, really?
a lot of people don't like Fairy Tale, but it is a great anime, and they actually announced that there's going to be another season coming out or another series, as in like because at the very end, oh, I'll talk about it. If you're not fully caught up on anime, you need to be caught up on anime. But at the very end of Fairy Tale, what is it? They they leave off to an adventure and it literally those adventures are called 100-year adventures or something like that, like literally it takes years, like almost like a whole like lifespan to fully accomplish and everything. So that series is like showing like what happened after that series and like Fairy Tale ended. They're starting from there, like their
Yeah.
journey through that whole like 100-year quest or whatever it's called. But yeah, like it's a really great anime. It shows you a lot of like family and like friendship, like like build ups, and everything. It's a really good anime. I feel like people should give it more of a chance and everything. But those I would say like are really great animes I really like and everything. There's other ones, but like
Okay.
I feel like they're a bit too like mainstream at the moment, where like only like people that are barely starting into like anime, that's all they watch. Like
That's true.
I could say
I've
My Hero, I can say Attack on Titan, I can say Death Note, I can say like all these other ones, but like that's where people start and that's where they like to stay. So I feel like people should just give another chance to other animes, like
yeah.
open up your mind. Like there's a lot of
I think
anime out there.
the holy yeah, I think the holy Trinity is One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. I think
Yeah.
that's like the holy Trinity that's very mainstream and a lot of people love watching it. Um, which is hence the reason why I never um started watching any of those because it was just too mainstream. I was like, I don't want to watch that.
I see how it is.
But
I see how it
as
is.
of right now, I am watching Dragon Ball Super, so I'm like, you know what? I think now. now that everything kind of died down, I'll go ahead and watch it.
Bro, well, you gotta
But
catch up because literally tomorrow,
I
a
know
thousandth episode for One Piece, bro.
it's gonna be crazy, man. That's a lot of episodes, man. I don't know
So,
how I'm gonna be able to catch up.
what is it?
But
There's actually movies that you can actually watch. They're like an hour, almost 2 hour long, but they're like movies, and it literally puts the important stuff from like these arcs, so that way you can like jump up to like I think like episode like 700 or something, or like 600. So that way, you, like it gives you a big gap jump, you know. So that way you don't have to see all like
huh,
a lot of people say they're fillers, but they're not. It's just it with One Piece, it's like getting from point A to point B, and sometimes it takes forever just to get there. And people are like, "Oh, it's all filler." I'm like, "Not really," because it connects it all. Like it's just they have little scenes that like little fights that they have to get to before they actually build up to the big thing. So that's why sometimes well, One Piece is so long. It's just running like getting from point A to point B takes a bit longer than what it should be. But like you have to understand, a lot of anime back in the day was like that. Like think about like
yeah,
Dragon Ball Z, the battle between Goku and Frieza. It was like how many, like 20
that
episodes?
was
Just
intense.
it was just like I think it was
Yeah,
so
it
long
was
and
pretty
everything
long.
just to do that. But back in the day, productions for like anime weren't like that popular, or like they didn't get that much funding as well. And also you these people have to wait for the like releases of like manga and everything, and they like sometimes they can produce more anime a lot quicker than manga can be released, so they have to kind of extend it to make like so that way they don't run into like a situation where like, oh, we ran out of like the new issue hasn't been out, so now we have to like stray from the
Yeah.
main story and like create our own little story, and that's where those fillers come in. Like if you ever seen a beach episode, like any beach day episode on anime, that's a filler. What is
Oh
it?
yeah.
A lot of backstory ones
Most
are
definitely.
fillers. What is it? Or just a random side quest that has nothing to do with the main story. Like those are fillers. And then the ones that know how to do fillers like no other is Naruto and Bleach. Like those are the two
Oh
animes
yeah,
that
Bleach.
that
Bleach
will
had a
literally
shit ton of fillers, bro.
and that's what happened,
But
bro. It's like because they sped up through they didn't really like wait for mangas like to fully like release so that way they can show like the good stuff, bro. They pushed fast on those animated like release like their animes to be released. So they got to the point where they're like, we're gonna lose like we're gonna like lose all of this if like we have to slow down. So that's why so much filler was created.
that
And
makes sense.
it's
That
crazy.
makes total sense.
But I feel like I answered your question and everything. What about you? Like, what's your top three, bro? What would you say is your top three?
Oh man, top three. Like I said, like I think I I'm gonna talk about like my top three old ones and then top three like current ones.
Okay.
And what I mean by old ones is like animes from back then, like from like early 2000s or like in the 90s and stuff like that. I would have to say like my top three animes, like old school ones, it will be Cowboy Bebop. Now they
Mm-hmm.
of course they made that as a show. Cowboy Bebop will be one, and then Berserk. Berserk was like
Intense.
it's one of my favorites. Berserk is intense, very gory, and I'm talking about the original Berserk. I'm not talking about the CGI or any of
that
that. You guys
newer
have to watch the
animation.
old one. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the third one will be Neon Genesis Evangelion. Uh, that one's very interesting. Reason being is that you can relate a lot to it, to a person's depression, or let's say the struggles from within that character. And actually, like, fun fact is that they show the on Genesis Evangelion episodes in psychology classes in college. So they like to in those classes they explain or they try to have the students identify why each and every student I mean, why in each and every character in the anime it's having struggles because this happened to them in the past or this happened, blah blah blah. Um, Very interesting anime. Some people, I know there's a lot of people that have got kind of a little bit depressed or they felt sad watching that anime because
Hmm.
it like you can really relate to it. It's just pretty crazy. Um, but my top three animes right now that I'll have to say, like my favorite, our first one will be Black Clover, of course. You already know
Black
that.
Clover.
Black Clover is my shit, man.
I
Black Clover.
remember telling you about it. I remember you're like, maybe I'll watch it later and everything. And then finally, after me telling you
Well,
so
it's
many
because I
times, or showing you little scenes, be like, bro, look at this, pulling up this fight scene, or like just talking about it, you're like, all right. I like in reality, I just felt like it's like, damn, I probably annoyed him so much that he's like, fuck, I'm just gonna give it a try. Like, say at least I watched the first episode, and you fell in
no,
love, bro. You fell in
i
love.
i it's because like I'll always tell you like I'm watching one anime and you already know how I am. Like every time when I start an anime,
Mhm.
I watch it nonstop. Like I have to finish it. Like I don't like hopping onto a different anime. Like I have to continue watching it until I finish the freaking season that or the whole entire anime. Um, and I can't remember which anime I was watching at the time. I can't remember. But
I don't
I
know
would have
either.
to say yeah. Number one is Black Clover. Number two would have to be Assassination Classroom. I do like
Assassination
Assassination
Classroom is
Classroom.
just too good.
Three will be that one's kind of hard. I would have to say My Hero Academia. My Hero
My Hero,
Academia is pretty, yeah, it's pretty
nice.
insane. And
Yeah,
then just to throw in a fourth one, I would honestly, the fourth one will make it in the top three, but if it's basically One Punch Man, man. I
One
love
Punch
One
Man.
Punch Man. It's just, dude, he's a trollest. Saitama is the trollest freaking character. I think what's
Oh,
great about the anime too, it just mocks and makes fun of every single other anime. That's the greatest
like,
part. So
yeah, you have to watch other animes first. Like, get one or two different series of animes to understand what the comedy behind like One Punch Man. Because if you just jump onto One Punch Man, you will not understand the comedy behind it. Like, you're gonna be like, why do people think this is funny? Like, I don't see it. But like, you have to watch a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit of
yeah,
anime just to understand the humor behind this whole series. It's just
exactly,
something else.
exactly.
It's crazy, but it's well
uh,
worth. It's well worth. I will say that. It's well worth.
yeah.
Yeah. If we're throwing a fourth one in, bro, I
So,
would have to say like Doctor Stone, bro. Like Doctor Stone got like
oh, Doctor
Doctor
Stone is
Stone is
so
something
good.
else. Like next season, bro.
Man, I
Next year is next year, bro. Next as well. A bunch of animes are coming out 2022. But yeah, Dr. Stone, bro. I didn't realize that I could have fun thinking about science. Bro, I used to hate science. Like science was like push it away towards like it's nothing
that is
interesting.
funny.
But with Dr. Stone, like they go into detail. There's actually like there's scenes where they teach you how to make this stuff, but this little robot of the main character pops up. He's like, this is all real, but don't do it at home. Like we're showing you that we do our like our checks and everything like that. And they go all into it, and it's intense. Like you learn a lot from that anime, and it just brings like an opening eye to like science. And anyone that's a big geek and all that stuff and all that science stuff will love that anime. Like hands down, it's great.
I would have to say Doctor Stone. Man, I'll probably take over My Hero Academia to be honest.
It's
Doctor
OP.
Stone is really good.
You got
It's
everything. You
really
got
freaking
science. You
good.
got action. You got everything you would want, bro.
So I would have to ask you though, like
Yeah,
um it can be a specific anime or it can be anime in general. Like what have like what have you learned from it? Like what's something that like that you can
me,
relate to and just be like, damn, dude, yeah, yeah,
what I've learned, my biggest thing that I learned, and it's the one thing I keep pushing and everything. Like, I don't like it has like One Piece is the one that taught me this a lot. Uh, m- the main character Luffy, he he's an orphan and everything like that, and he doesn't really have friends. So when he finally sets out on sea, he wants to create that friendship. And throughout the whole series of One Piece, when he has a friend or he meets someone that he cares for, he will do anything, mean like anything he can in his with his power to like protect them and like help them out in anything. He cherishes friendships. Like I don't care if you're like the biggest or top dog or anything like that, but if you hurt my friends, I'm gonna hurt you back. You know, like he'll do anything for them,
Yeah.
and it's just you realize that um, we we sometimes can't control who we're like who our family is, so we get a second opportunity in finding friends because that's our second family. So when you find the right people in life and everything, you want to make sure you have their back for everything. You know, like that's the biggest thing that I've learned is just when you find the right people out there, you will protect them and they will protect you. Any goal that you're trying to reach, they'll help you reach uh, your goal. And while they're helping you, you're helping them reach, like helping them reach their goal. Like that's literally the whole backstory behind One Piece and everything. Like this kid has a big dream and everything, and his friends, like his crewmates, saw what they what he did for them, so they're helping him reach his goals. But like they told him
Yeah.
like I will have my personal goals, and he's like I'm gonna help you get there because if I'm gonna be the like if I'm gonna have my goals, I want you to be with me and reach your goals as well. So that like friendship is the one thing I learned a lot to cherish and like back up and everything. So yeah, that whole friendship situation has to be like the biggest thing I learned because when I was little, I had like literally no friends. I had like nothing. Like when I was young, I would go to my mom like cry. I'm like, my cousins don't even want to hang out with me. I don't have anyone to hang out with. No one at school wants to talk to me and everything like that. And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get you a brother and everything." So like every day I would cry to my mom like I don't have any friends. And until I got my brother, I cherished him like no other. Like when he was on my mom's stomach and everything, like my mom had to bring another child for me to like have a friend because for me it was hard to have friends because everyone always pushed me to the side and everything, all this other stuff. So my my brother, he's like my the world to me and everything. So there's that, and then when I was finally able to like actually choose my friends that I wanted, I pretty much only have like three official best friends, like ride and die situations, and Marcos is one of them. So you got to realize that finding those friends, you got to cherish them and like help them out while you're being helped out by them because you guys are both like everyone's like putting on the grind. Like I feel like I answered it, but I also put like a lot of it like into it. But yeah, hopefully
No,
you
it's
got the answer
great.
that you wanted.
It's yeah, no, it's great, man. Like it just that's crazy because I would never think that you struggle with having to socialize or having to gain friends like because you're a very outgoing person. You a lot of people like you, man. Like everywhere we go, people enjoy having you around. So it's crazy. Like
Yeah, bro. I think the thing
to even think that you feel that way.
that changed it
I
was
mean, yeah.
so back it was like once I was getting like into like the fifth and sixth grade era, like that time and everything like that. I it like I told myself like I need to just talk to everyone. I need to talk to everyone, and I knew everyone, but people didn't know me. So that's how I kind of started, and then come
Mm.
junior high, I was like, you know what? I need to be more funny. I need to start throwing jokes. I need to do this. And the one thing I told myself, I was like, I don't care if it's not funny. I'm gonna say it. If 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 I say it and I think it's funny, I'm okay with it. But if no one laughs in the classroom, I'm gonna feel
Okay, bro.
stupid, but I'm gonna do it. And
Uh,
I would do it, bro. If something popped up, I was like, I need to say it. Boom, I would say it. Sometimes really a really bad joke, but I had to say it. And I feel like pushing myself out of that comfort zone of like having to like do a little
I
bit more was like the point where I'm at now. Like that's like I you've seen me, bro. I do a lot of stupid shit. We could be at the store. I'd be doing a lot of
I think we
stupid stuff,
both do, to
saying a
be
lot of,
honest.
like, and it's just perfect.
We
Like
do
that.
this the dumbest crap ever, I
We do
swear.
the dumbest things, bro. Because I'm like coming like thinking about that. It's just like we're living one life. Might as well do what we want to do, you know? Like that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be on my deathbed and everything and be like, damn, I should have said that joke. Like I don't want to be in that situation. I should have stand up and said that in class, you know? Like I
That's
don't want to
too
be in that
funny.
situation. So that's what it is. Like I need to jump into that and do it.
Yeah,
But
most
yeah,
definitely. That's crazy, man.
I,
That's
th-
good.
I think you got my answers right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had a
I
lot.
didn't even know that. I learned something new as well. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know you struggle with socializing when you were a kid. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
bro.
man.
That's why me and my brother are strong. Like you should see. I have so many baby pictures of like me and my brother, me just holding him the whole time. Like every time I had the chance, my mom wasn't like breastfeeding him, I would be holding him, like be taking care of him.
That's funny.
Like my favorite picture,
Is
bro.
that gay, bro?
Yeah, it's gay, bro. But
Uh,
my
uh,
favorite picture, bro. I actually have it on my brother's as his contact picture, but it's me and my little brother. I think
that's
I've shown you.
funny.
It's me and my little brother. We're tiny and everything. I think Gabriel could barely walk and everything. It's the middle of the night. We're at the fridge munching on food. My little brother's on the floor just munching. I'm over here standing munching on food. We're literally standing in the like in front of the fridge, just munching. And my
Uh,
mom hears something and like ends up walking to the kitchen, and she sees us just munching. and
that's
and
funny, man.
she gets her camera and takes a picture. While she's taking a picture, I'm like looking at her. I'm like holding something in my mouth. I'm like, oh, and my brother's just like has his mouth full and everything, closed eyes, just looking up, just like, yeah, you caught me on the spot, but I don't care. He's just and that picture right there, I have it as his contact picture. It's one of my favorite pictures. It's just hilarious because we would do everything when we were little.
You're funny, dude.
Oh,
That's
it was.
hilarious.
It's one of the funniest stories. I love it. But same question for you, bro.
Huh.
Like, what have you like? What taught you the most from like anime? Like, what did you learn? Like, 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 what do you? Yeah, what did you learn from anime that you've put into life and everything?
Huh. I would have to say, what I learned from that's a really good question because it's not more like, man, that's a really good question. But I would have to say, the one that I learned the best from, or one thing that I kind of struggled with was, and I know we kind of talked about this, but from Seven Deadly Sins with,
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? Ja what's the
Bond?
fox guy's name? I can't remember. Bond, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like a lesson to learn from. And what I mean by that is that, like, Bond, like, I know he struggled with what's it called? For being a bad guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's not a bad guy and he knows he's not, but there's always self-consciously like having to think like, you know what uh, like, the things that I did, was it wrong? Was it not? Blah blah blah. Like, I think about that, like we all go through our own struggles and we all um do some things that are stupid, right?
Yeah.
And you always think to yourself like, and I know you can relate to this too because we talked about it. Or like, damn, like, just because I did this action, does it just make me a bad person, like, overall? But in reality, it doesn't. I mean, hey, like, you know what? Like, people just sometimes do good things, and some people sometimes do bad things, and
Yeah.
you know what? We learn off of it. But one anime that keeps on like keeps on motivating me, or keeps on pushing me to be consistent is Black Clover with Asta. Asta, man, like, I think the great thing about him is that um people always picked on him, man. Like, the people always picked on him because he was different, and the fact that he did not have any magic, like a lot of people just will be like, haha, you can't do jack shit because you can't do magic. And it's crazy because like he will always train and, like, always train to be faster, more powerful, etc. Like I'm pretty sure he didn't care about gaining the muscle mass, but this guy just kept on pushing and pushing to the point where he ended up be becoming freaking OP because he
Hmm.
decided to not quit. He just kept on pushing, and I think that's what makes a difference is that even though like there's people out there that can hate on you or bring you down, like you just got to keep on pushing to where you want to be at, and that's Asa's a fucking beast, bro. He's a troll too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that anime, bro. It's just so many characters. That's another anime people need to give a chance. Uh, they a lot of people don't really like it because the animation like isn't like the best. Yeah, but like you just got to give it like a chance because the first season isn't that like doesn't have the best animation in reality, but just giving that chance and everything, you got to realize anime is all beautiful. Like all of it is great. Let's see. But yeah, just giving it a chance, and it's funny because one of my favorite characters on Black Clover is what's his name? The guy with the red hair. What's his name?
Zara.
Zara. There we go. Zara. Motherfucker, he's great because he's one of those characters that they make it seem like he's going to be a bad guy, but in all reality, he just has that different mentality of a hero. If you guys have seen My Hero Academia, uh, he's kind of like the hero killer. He doesn't like the new idea of what certain people think are heroes. Like, if I'm a hero, I deserve this. Like, I have all this power and all this stuff. So like, you need to cherish me because I'm a hero. But no, like you got to humble yourself. You got to realize that you're helping people off of kindness or like you don't expect anything back when you help out someone and everything, and that's what Zara does.
Yeah,
Like he sees someone that is misusing the like that higher power, like like pretty much like someone that's like like, what are they called, just magic knights. Like a magic knight, he like, if just because you
yeah,
have that name doesn't mean like you like people should like kneel in front of you or like treat you as a king. No, like you got to realize you're just there to help him out. Like no matter what people need, like you're there to help them, and he will beat down people that are like misusing like the name like as magic knight. So that's one of my favorite things. But then the other thing is that he always carries these like stink bugs and throws them at people's face.
just throws at people to troll him. That guy.
Yeah, and it's just like it's so stupid and yet so funny because he will do it to anyone, and it's just OP. Like just alone his character, like that character design is so badass. Like, and then on top of that, what is it? His power is just like setting up traps, bro. It's OP. Like he can on one of the episodes, he literally spent the whole night setting up this whole area full of traps and everything, just for a fight and everything. And it's just that man has like some major dedication and all this stuff. And he has
That
the right
guy is a
idea.
beast.
He is a beast.
Yep.
uh, it's just some stuff you can't get off of like a like in real life. You have to see it. It's OP. But yeah, I was actually gonna tell you, what is it? Have you ever thought about like giving manga a chance, bro? Like sitting down and reading manga?
You know what? I actually so the very first anime that I ever got into was Bleach.
Hmm.
I was back in elementary school, and as I went into what's it called to middle school, I was like so committed to just watching English sub. Because I would only watch on YouTube. Like it will people will put it on YouTube. I don't know if you remember those days back in YouTube where like people will put anime episodes
Yeah.
and it wouldn't get copyrighted or anything like
No,
that.
because over
And
here in the
the
US, bro,
yeah,
it was way harder. Like at the beginning, it
go
was
for
way
it.
harder to watch anything.
Yeah, I'm having
Oh no, we lost him again. Oh no, workouts. But yeah, while he's getting that whole situation fixed up and everything, yeah, back in the day, it was a lot harder to watch anime. you got to realize that the only area that you could like the only place that can actually that was actually showing anime was Toonami, literally after hours on Cartoon Network. You reach a certain time and everything. There you are, Marcos.
I don't know why it just keeps on like just logging off. Like it just does it by itself.
It might be like the phone just thinking like, oh, he's not there anymore, so it kind of like shuts it down, you know. But
Who knows? It doesn't go to sleep or anything like that. It's
huh.
pretty crazy.
Yeah,
But
but like I was explaining that like pretty much the only place that you could watch anime back in the day, like officially, on TV was Toonami, like after hours from Cartoon Network. That was the only place,
yeah, that was
and
the only way.
there was like there was no way to stay consistent because they would just throw random like episodes here and there.
Yep.
It wasn't like
Yep.
following the thing. So like the next source that we had was the internet, and that was the only you like that was YouTube mainly, because here in the
Yeah.
US it was tough to watch anime. But anywhere else in the world, bro, I didn't realize how big it was until like I got older. Like even my aunts
Yeah.
know about like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, and they like it. They like get hyped because when I went to Mexico, bro, I showed them like all my anime tattoos, like everything like that. Bro, they were hyping it up. They were like, "Oh my god, look, that's Bulma!" Without me having to like say which character it was. That's
That's
little
funny.
Goku, and they're like, "Oh
Uh,
look, that's this and this." I'm like, "Damn, I love it. I love it."
that's awesome.
But sorry,
That is
continue where
too
you were
funny.
going.
Oh yeah, so I was just like I was in middle school and I'll watch like what's it called? I'll try to watch these English Bleach videos because that's what I want to watch. I didn't want to. I just didn't want to watch sub, even though like I can watch sub now. Like I have
Mhm.
no problem watching it. But before I couldn't find episodes on YouTube, and I had to wait, literally wait. And I was like, how? I didn't feel like waiting, so I ended up finding out that there's mangas at my school library. They had Bleach mangas. So I started reading all these mangas of Bleach, and as I'm reading through it, man, like it's so crazy because like I can imagine everything, and then having to watch the actual anime, the episode, I'm like, holy shit, this is how I imagined it. Like this is freaking nuts. But ever since then, I haven't watched. I mean, I haven't read any mangas. Like I just need to like find. I guess I just have to find a solid anime. I think the manga that I do want to read
Mhm.
before I get into anything else is Berserk, because
Berserk.
Berserk just kind of ended with one season, I believe. It just
Yeah, they
I know
didn't
there's
they
a
didn't really go off of
continuation.
they didn't really follow a lot on it. I think it wasn't that hyped back in the day, so
Yeah, that's the reason why. So that's why there wasn't that many they didn't continue it. So I would love to watch I mean read the mangas and stuff like that because I'm pretty sure they're pretty freaking intense. But
yeah,
yeah.
like you should give it a try, bro, because literally like I thought about it, but my brother's Gabriel, he started reading mangas and everything, and it's because he's like I really don't want to play my video games sometimes, and I just want to do something else, and he's really not on social media, so he just decided to like start reading mangas and everything. And then my little brother Diego, he jumped on and started reading Demon Slayer, and they're reading that because Gabriel has so
That's
many different
awesome.
mangas that he's giving a try. Like even
Hello?
yeah, I'm here. Oh, you're losing it again. No, make cappuccino. Make cappuccino. Marcos. No. But yeah, like there you are. You're back. Hello, Marcos. Oh no. Yeah. Giving. One thing I decided to do was start reading more, and one of the things was I'm gonna start reading some manga, and so that's what I did. I have four issues, not in order. I have one, two, and three. I need four, and I have five, but I'm gonna start doing that. I'm on the second one. I'm like reading that right now currently. You there, Marcos?
Yeah, I'm here. For some reason, it just keeps on logging me off. It says it's not visible. It's weird.
Huh. All right, but yeah, just coming back to the thing, you should give you should give it a try, bro. Because like literally, I'm rereading. I'm starting all over from the beginning on One Piece. Like I have one, two, three, and then
Do you think,
five.
do you think, yeah, do you think it'll be a lot quicker reading the mangas and watching the episodes?
Yeah, hands down, hands down, bro. Hands down, it is a lot easier because there's a
And then
hundred
I
books of
catch up
these.
very quickly.
There's a hundred issues of these right here. Well, yeah, there is. There is going. I think they're at like 99 right now here in the U.S. I think they're at 99, uh, and that's pretty much caught up to where the anime is at currently right now. So they're yeah. You
Mm,
literally in the first one right here, it literally shows you like probably like 10 episodes, 10 or like 6 episodes, something like that. It goes way faster, bro. It goes way faster. But yeah, you should give it a try. You can. I know there's websites if you don't want to get the official books. There I know there's websites out there that you can just jump on
yeah,
and just read them. But yeah, giving
yeah.
anime a try is pretty much like the best thing that people can do. People don't realize that it's more than just regular cartoons that you see off of Nickelodeon
Ye-
or Cartoon Network.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When Squid Game started getting all hyped up,
Hmm.
when I try to get into it, try watching like I watched like two, three episodes, and I'm like, I didn't think that was that great. Like it's not something that interests me, but I'm like, this is just like freaking anime. I don't know why
It,
people just don't watch anime. Like
I
it's the
think
same goddamn shit.
I think there is something out there I think it is a manga or something like that. I may be wrong, but it did start off. It didn't start off as well. I think it did start off as a manga. I may be wrong, but yeah, um, that idea behind it, I understand why people get hyped up on it, but it's just like, I also didn't like it. I thought the idea behind it, like, oh, it's a life or death situation, like it's cool, but in reality, I I I wouldn't. I watched it once and I wouldn't watch it again, to be honest. And a bunch of people hyped up these other shows on Netflix that are similar, like Squid Game. I'm like, they just don't look that cool.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of Dead Man Land, I believe that's what it's called, the anime.
Yeah.
But I think it's but I think it's better in my opinion than
No,
watching
yeah.
Squid Games. Dead Man Wonderland, that's what it's called.
I think
Dead Man Wonderland.
it keeps popping up on my Funimation like Dead Man stuff and all that. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try. But what is it?
I liked it.
To kind of like end this little scenario on this anime stuff and everything. Each one of us is gonna give out three animes that we would recommend. Okay. So
Three what?
three like three animes I would recommend people to like watch. Like someone new, someone getting
Oh, to
barely into
begin with?
anime. Yeah, to begin with. I'll start it off. Uh, one anime I would say would be My Hero. What is it?
As the first one, I don't know, bro. People are gonna watch it and they're gonna be like, "Why is this fucker crying so much?" I'm just saying.
Okay, if I would recommend Black Clover, bro, it'd be like, why is this fucker screaming so much?
Oh yeah, that's
Why
true.
is he
That's
always
true.
yelling?
Ah,
So yeah, but like for my recommendations, if people are barely getting into anime, I would say My Hero, Doctor Stone, and Assassination Classroom. Those would probably be my three I would recommend people to start watching. What about you, Marcos?
ooh, I would have to say my assassination classroom is pretty good. Um, let's see. Doctor Stone would be pretty interesting as well. And then let's see. Fuck it. Black Clover, dude.
Bro, he yells too much.
I I don't care if he yells too much. This is a good anime.
It is a good anime. But yeah, the stream. I'm gonna be ending the stream in a bit. But before we end that stream, I do have one more question for you, Marcos. And this is a big question.
Okay.
How does a man just you're starting up and everything, someone that's a bit too shy, watches a bit too much anime, dedicates himself to watching his waifus, like how would you give what type of advice would you give that man to stepping up and actually getting a waifu in real life? Like how can a guy
Waifu in real life.
like how can a guy just approach a girl and start talking, like spit some game, bro? Give me some game for a guy that needs some
You
help.
know what? Let's be realistic here. It's very, very. It's hard to get. It's hard to. How should I word this? You know what? I'll say this. I think what I truly believe is that you have to be able to get uncomfortable. A lot of guys are not like a lot of guys are too comfortable and they're just afraid of rejection. And if you're trying to get at girls, I mean, it's a lot of rejection. Getting at girls, it's a lot of rejection. I'll say if you close 1 out of 10 girls, you're a pretty goddamn good closer, dude.
that is
Like
that is
you're
some good
really good.
stats.
And what I'm talking about, what I mean by having to close one girl, as in like having to get their phone number from A to all the way to Z. And what I mean by all the way to Z, whichever order that means to you, either having to go on a date, having to get laid, or having to be in a relationship with them. That's what I mean by closing 1 to 10 girl, like 1 out of 10 girls, because it's very hard. It is very hard to get at girls, but if you want to be very good at it, I would highly suggest that you get uncomfortable. One of the many things that I have done, I remember when I was in high school, like I would always go to the mall, always go to the mall, just so I can just get at random girls. And you know what? You don't have to get their phone number. Just having to just talk to them, just having to compliment them, just doing those stuff will get you out of your comfort zone. And let's say if you want to take it up one step, like take it up a notch, then of course, then grab their phone number, or from grabbing their phone number, then um, going on dates with them. That's all it is. Because it's different. We either talking about cold approach or we're talking about dating apps. And if you're gonna be cold approaching, you're gonna have to experience some rejection. That's completely fine. If we're doing dating apps, then that's a very whole different story. A lot of guys don't take really good pictures. They like taking mirror selfies or regular selfies and stuff like that. And that it's not a good look for your profile. You would have to have one of your friends take pictures of you and have good quality pictures showing that you're able to socialize. Um, and not only that, like just having some good pictures on dating apps literally helps you out. Like having to set up dates and all that stuff. Having to show your face as well, because some guys they use sunglasses. I don't think my Instagram is a good example because it's just a bunch of cars. I really like cars. So,
No, it so
but
like yeah, there is a lot of cars, but like it still puts a great example because like you got your self improvement in here, man. Like this that view right there, bro. Like one thing I love about your Instagram, bro, is in every picture you come out pristine. Like bro, like look at that. Mm. Like
yeah.
you know how to like request or like take some good pictures, bro. Like you look like you're enjoying life just off of that picture right there alone. Like
Yeah, the only difference though that I would have to critique my own profile picture, I would have to have more pictures of myself with my face showing and less use of sunglasses as well.
mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, like, just having to get uncomfortable. If you're really trying to get at girls, you have to get uncomfortable and you have to be okay with getting rejected because that's what it is. They, a lot of these girls, they're looking for something to disqualify you every single time. They're always looking for something to disqualify you. They're not looking, oh, hey, like, you know what? This guy's approaching me. Like, oh, I'm trying to get with him. That's every time when you walk up to the girl, expect that there's a possibility of getting rejected. That's what it is. But if you want to go on multiple dates like consistently, I would say just try all your sources. Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, Hinge, um, cold approaching girls in person. That would tremendously help you. Like you will be able to get some girls, and over time you start learning stuff on body language. You start learning what to say to girls and how to confidently say it. You can also watch some YouTube videos. You can see like, oh, body language. It all plays into the role. Like once you start getting used to it, it's simple. It gets very simple.
Yes, yes, yes. And a quick little disclosure as well. When he means get uncomfortable, doesn't mean strip down, guys. Do not do that. Do not show some nudity shit in front of girls, bro. And what he means by uncomfortable means do something you normally wouldn't do, as in like, oh, I need to go talk to more girls. I need to speak up. I need to feel confident. I need to like dress nice, because you've got to present yourself. Do something that you don't normally do to like go go work out, start building up that body, do something uncomfortable for you like that. Don't go do
Yeah.
some inappropriate shit, okay?
Yep. And it's true. Like I like how you said that you mentioned working out. Working out will build your self-esteem up. Like your confidence will drive up. Just losing weight, having to get more in shape will help you out tremendously. Um, because you just feel good about yourself, and if you feel good about yourself, then more than likely you're able to do something that that you don't want to do, but it just helps you be more comfortable. That's basically it.
Very true, very true. And thank you, the wise man, Marcos. I appreciate you for all that knowledge that you spread out. I will be pulling up your social media right here so people can actually see it so that way they know where to follow you. And that is M. Mark Anton, right? M. Mark Anton.
Mark Anton, yeah.
Mac or blah 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 Mac Mark Anton. There we go. That's where you can follow him. Last couple of things, bro.
Freaking
This last
Abraham.
segment is all yours. Spread whatever knowledge you want to do. Do shout outs. I don't know. Tell them what you're doing, bro. Tell them what you want to let like tell
Exactly.
people.
So, yeah, I mean, just one tip of advice. I know I've been mentioning a lot throughout the podcast, but just believe in yourself, be willing to get uncomfortable, and having to be consistent. And the reason why I say consistent or having to create the habit is very important is because um, you're not going to always feel motivated. Motivation helps you start, but it doesn't help you end. And what helps you end is having to create that habit and that consistency. Because there's days where I don't feel like going to freaking gym, and guess what I fucking do? I go to the fucking gym. Even though I'm fucking tired, I still go. I don't make excuses. There's always a way for you to figure it out. Like that's why the internet, like there's so many sources in the internet for you to learn, and I feel like a lot of people undermine it. Like if you really want to learn something, it's right there. You will figure it out. And all the knowledge I have ever gotten from having to work out, having to know about macros, having to build muscle, is through the internet. I didn't learn it from anyone else. I mean, I just looked for that information for myself. Um, so having to get uncomfortable is very important, and having to build consistency is very important. And that's all I have to say.
All right. We love that, man. Stay educated, get consistent, and put in the work, bro. That's what we love to hear. Thank you again, Marcos, for being part of my first episode on my podcast. I love you, man. And thanks everyone for tuning in on the first episode of My One Piece. Take care. Bye bye.